Is Heavy Rain Part 3. Heavy Rain Part 2 has been uploading for, no shit, like 14 hours, and I cannot for the life of me get it uploaded, so I don't know what else to tell you. It's just completely not a good situation with Heavy Rain Part 2. But I digress. This is Heavy Rain Part 3. We are on our way to the station as Ethan to try and find the first trial, or the box of goodies. So the last two videos, if part 2 ever gets uploaded that is, are like an hour and a half long, and that's because I keep getting cut off by things that aren't my fault, pretty much. So this episode, God willing, will be probably 3+ hours long. So we're just gonna try and go fast and just get through the game so that I can complete Heavy Rain. So he's right now Ethan is having PTSD from the Jason incident.
Gonna have to make it through the crowd. I can't take crowds.
That lady's the same person. All three of those people. Those ladies.
The luggage lockers. They're on the other side of the station. No time to waste. I need to find out what's in that locker. Maybe I could come back later, when there's less of a crowd. I'm just not gonna make it. I'm tightening up. I can't make it. Too many people. Too many people.
I mean, the lockers are like 30 feet away from it. It's not like... I mean, I understand that anxiety and everything is probably, you know, really enhanced when you just lost your son in the crowd or whatever. But why is no one helping him? I mean, he's clearly in distress. Someone should be like... So, he hallucinates that Sean is walking around here. Or Jason, not Sean. Ethan's just such a weird character. So now Jason finally seems to care about, that was like that one mini game in the original Wii Party where you're trying to run through the sheep. That's what running through these people is like. Or Pushy Penguins from Mario Party 5, which is the best Mario Party ever to be made. I'm very excited for this one that they're, that was shown off at E3 and is coming out in October 2021. My brother and I have very high hopes for that game because it seems like they've ditched everything that makes modern Mario Party stupid and tried to go back to what works, which is what Sonic Team should be doing, because Sonic Team keeps on making terrible Sonic games when they need to just make Sonic Adventure 3 already.
Jason! Jason! Jason, come back! The balloon! Gotta get the balloon! Jason. It's Jason. He's there. He's right there. This time I'll save him. Jason! Jason, Dad's here, son!
So I thought that Jason disappears when you get close to him, right?
Crazy.
Can I get this guy off the bench? Nope.
The balloon. Gotta get the balloon.
Oh, there he is.
Gotta get the balloon. The balloon. Gotta get the balloon.
Yeah, we get it, Ethan.
Jason!
Again, no one's... I mean, they're in a large metropolitan area, so I'm assuming everyone's used to just drugged out people, and that's why no one's paying no mind to this. But, yeah.
nightmare. The whole thing was just a fucking nightmare. Jason is dead.
So is he just asleep, chilling on the floor?
I managed to get through the goddamn crowd. The lockers. Now I've got to find the right one. Line 18, box number
1803.
The lockers. Now I've got to find the right one. The locker number. It's on the ticket.
I don't know how people are supposed to mess that up, but apparently it's a common problem. They just can't find the locker. And I'm like, seriously? Also, no one saw the origami killer come in here and put this box in here. I mean, there's security cameras everywhere, and there was a policeman in this room, so poor job on their part. So, in that box will be clues that you need to do in order to find Sean. And you can choose not to do them, you can choose to do them and fail halfway through. I mean, there's a lot of options that come with this box of mysteriousness. Again, the only reason Madison ever stumbles upon this motel is because she needs to sleep. And apparently she can only sleep in motels, which is just stupid, and that's the only reason she gets caught in this story at all.
Am I the one who put this box in the locker? I don't remember. A shoebox. What's the connection with Sean's disappearance? I took a room in the first motel I saw. The box from the locker. What am I going to find inside?
So we have to open the box right now, but I'm going to see what else we can do first.
According to our sources, a child disappeared from the Stanton district yesterday evening. He was last seen playing in the park with his father. Full details are unknown, but following the disappearance of 𝘚𝘵𝘴, there is suspicion that this again may be the work of the origami killer. If
See, everyone pronounces origami wrong.
Victims to 9.
So Sean is the 9th victim. Apparently Ethan does not eat this entire time that he's here. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Because I don't think he eats once in this entire... A bug just flew up my nose. Yeah, but I don't think he eats once this entire time he's here. Can we choose to just leave right now? Nope. So his room number is 207. That's going to be important for later. For wanting to find his son so bad, he seems to be doing everything except trying to find his son. So I don't exactly know if I'm going to ace all the trials with Ethan, because I don't want Ethan to be the one to save Sean, and I know it's possible for multiple people to get to Sean at the same time at the climax of this game. Depending on what you do, Madison is definitely not going to be the one. I might keep Ethan alive. I might purposely arrest Ethan and keep him in jail until Norman can prove his innocence. in the climax and have Norman rescue Sean, which is probably what I'm going to do. And Madison will be long gone by this point. So I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to get Ethan arrested probably after he cuts off his finger. And actually Madison won't be there to bail him out, so he'll get caught regardless. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get Ethan incarcerated, and then Norman will be the hero and find Sean, prove Ethan's innocence, and happy ending. You're intended to beat the game as Ethan, but we're not doing that because Norman Jayden is the MVP of this game, and he deserves to be the person who finds Sean. I like it too, because if Norman shows up without Ethan at the end, the origami killer is all like, "You're not the boy's father," because the origami killer thinks that only the boy's father is capable of. He's trying to find a father who wants his son back enough to do all these tasks that he's about to give him. I probably could have seen his thoughts before I pushed anything. Also, what's stopping Ethan from not doing these in order is what I want to know.
Sean.
Where are you? I'm so cold.
So, at this point, Ethan knows for sure he's been abducted by the origami killer, and he does not immediately go to the police with this video that he has of Sean that would prove that he's not the killer. So Ethan's just really dumb and not very smart in this game, because the police think Ethan's the killer, okay? And they try to hunt down Ethan for this, like, the entire middle and third quarter of this game. So it's stupid that he doesn't go to the cops right now, because as far as the cops know, he's just filed a missing kid report, and this could prove he could just give this box of stuff to the cops and prove that he, you know, didn't do this, essentially.
Dad!
So, the first trial, which is the bear origami figure, is the one where you have to drive on the wrong side of the highway for 5 miles, I think. The second one is where Ethan has to cut off his finger. He has to maim himself to get the address letters. The third one is he has to kill someone, a drug dealer. And the fourth one is he has to, quote unquote, kill himself. So he drinks poison and has to go save Sean before the poison kills him. Also, how does Ethan, an architect, know how to use a handgun? I find that very hard to believe. So you're going to want to put the box underneath the bed every single time, because Madison will find it if you put it on the table, and then she'll think Ethan is the killer. And we don't want Madison thinking Ethan is the killer, because then she tries to do weird, creepy things. She's like she pretty much does the whole fangirl over, like, you know, You know what I'm getting at here. Fangirl over the serial killer type kind of girls is what Madison turns into. Back to playing as the golden child here.
The killer is white, aged between 30 and 45. He doesn't act on impulse, but plans.
So this is where they're trying to figure out who the killer and stuff is, obviously. And I think this is the mission where you either go to the supermarket and chase down the very white American guy with a Russian name, or you go to Nathaniel's house and either kill or whatever with him, with Carter Blake.
Fashion. He doesn't have anything personal against the victims. That's why he covers their faces with mud, to make them anonymous.
Why does he kill them if he doesn't have anything against them?
That guy's voice does not match his face and or his mouth movements at all.
For him, they're more of an image, a symbol. That's probably why he gives them an origami figure and an orchid as gifts, to apologize for what he's done to them.
Very interesting. And where does all that get us?
The best way of tracking a predator is to be familiar with his behavior.
That may be true in novels, but there's a child's life at stake here.
Continue, Jaden.
Then I studied the geographical distribution of the murders. Generally, a killer commits his first murder near to where he lives, so he has a safe place to flee to if any complications arise. The more confident he becomes, the further he roams from his base. By analyzing the locations where
Again, I don't know what it is with the teeth in these kind of like early 2000s, I mean mid-late 2000s and like early 2010 games, but they're always just creepy looking.
victims disappeared, I was able to isolate a zone where the killer might live.
And what size is this, zone?
For the moment, about 10 square miles.
Ah, great. Must be 10,000 people live in that sort of area. You gonna question them one by one?
The more clues we get, the more we can reduce the zone. We can then cross-check it with our list of suspects and identify the killer. One detail attracted my attention. The interval between the time when a victim disappears and the time when the body is found ranges from 3 to 5 days. But the rainfall is always at 6 inches, give or take 10%.
What on earth does that mean?
All the victims were drowned in rainwater. The killer kills only in the fall when there is plenty of rain. It could be that he puts them in some sort of well or tank that is open to the skies and that fills up with rainwater.
Excellent police work by Norman Jayden here. That is spot on. Also, it's foreshadowing, and this is the kind of expert skill and intuition you get from the FBI, not the stupid CIA as in Beyond Two Souls.
The more it rains, the less time the victim has to live.
So what's next?
There are 2 suspects whose psychological profile might fit and can be connected to the comfort zone. I'd like to question them.
God damn it. We're wasting our time with this bullshit. The killer's out there somewhere, and we gotta get off our asses and find him.
The killer is no ordinary murderer. He is intelligent, organized, and methodical. You won't find him by patrolling the streets.
Tell me, Agent Jayden, did you get your vast experience on the job, or did you just fucking read about it in some school book?
Your vast experience hasn't prevented 8 victims from being murdered.
Fucking asshole! That's enough! You said it took 6 inches of rainfall before the victim died. How much time do we have left?
The weather forecasts are right. Less than 72 hours.
So the chase is on at this point.
Nathaniel Williams is our prime suspect. He's already been questioned, and he lives in the exact geoprofiling zone.
if you go on the Boundary Break episode by She Says, or whatever that guy's name is on this channel, on this website I should say, this area that they're standing in right now is only as big as you see it. If you zoom out even a little, the only thing that exists here is this staircase, these doors, and like a staircase behind them. That's it.
No answer. We waste our time coming here.
Maybe we should have a little look inside anyway.
There's nobody home.
Terminated.
There is now.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
Call the cops.
So, hint hint, this person is just a, you know, basket case and not a,
Looks like Nathaniel Williams is a pretty religious guy.
not the killer. So,
He's a God-fearing idiot.
I
Waiting
just-
for the end of the world. We questioned him a few months back because he was causing a disturbance.
I don't know what happens if you see him come in,
Ranting, raving.
Nathaniel, if you see him walk up the stairs.
Voices. Had this idea in his sick little head that I was the Antichrist. I'd come to Earth to persecute him. Real twist.
He has a lot of opioids in here. Some narcotics.
It's stifling in here. Those windows haven't been opened in years. The guy's taking a break from reality, holed up here in this crazy apartment.
Well, that one says multivitamin, so maybe they're just all vitamins. I'll give Nathaniel the benefit of the doubt here. Again, since I can't use Iden to really
All the
cheat my
signs of a
way into
mystical
seeing
obsession.
everyone's things, I can only really guess here.
Neurosis compounded by a persecution complex.
So we pretty much just have to wait around for Nathaniel to come home.
You don't have to be a profiler to see he's not a killer. We're wasting our time here.
Again, very intelligent Norman Jayden is.
Candles are still lit. He should be back soon.
This is a fire hazard. So there's a lot of ways we can play this, but I usually kill Nathaniel because, well, I don't think I'm going to now, but I feel like that's probably what's best for him.
Good timing, Nathaniel. Just the man we're looking for.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us.
I'm Agent Norman Jayden, FBI. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Norman Jayden.
As God is my witness, I haven't done anything. I'm innocent.
Relax. Nobody's accusing you of anything. We just want to talk. Why all the crucifixes? You afraid of something?
The hour is nigh, and the wrath of God shall strike men down. I'm preparing for the end of the world.
Where do you work, Nathaniel? You have a job?
My sole occupation is praying to the all-merciful Lord for the salvation of humanity.
So where did he get all those groceries from? Or whatever he was bringing in.
Nathaniel, do you remember where you were last Tuesday at 4:30 p.m.?
Here. I was here. I was praying. All day.
Was there anybody with you?
No, I was alone.
What about the voices, Nathaniel? Do you still hear the voices? We know who talks to you, don't we, Nathaniel? Well, we both know who talks to you.
Don't speak that name.
Maybe Blake knows what he's doing after all.
What does he say to you, Nathaniel?
Better just stand down and leave Blake to it.
You mustn't talk about it.
I guess Blake's trying to break it, but what good is a confession if he does?
Pray, doesn't he? He needs
The guy is
more,
terrified of Blake.
more.
He really thinks he's the Antichrist or something.
No.
What's he doing?
You must.
Why is he provoking him like that?
He told
I've got
me
to
go
do
find us
something.
in the park. The voices.
Shit! Blake is totally out of his mind. I can't just stand around and do nothing.
So Nathaniel's going to pull a gun on Blake, and we can either shoot Nathaniel or talk him down, but I think we're going to shoot him.
Stop. Stop. That's
So I'm not
enough.
going to interfere here.
So you obeyed them to make them stop. You took that boy with you and you drowned him. Isn't that right?
No. Stop. Stop.
You killed them, didn't you, Nathaniel? Are you gonna confess, you bastard?
You are the Antichrist.
I don't know why this, savior of the Lord needs a handgun. I feel like everything he believes in is probably not. What he doesn't have he doesn't have a job. He spends all day praying. When did he even get a gun? Why does he need a gun if he doesn't leave the house to go pray, or anything like that? I mean, this makes no sense.
Put down the
I
gun,
shall
Nathaniel.
dispatch you to your father in hell. He is the son of Satan. He was sent to earth to destroy us.
For Christ's sakes, shoot!
Drop the gun, now! Now gently put the gun down on the floor.
Team, you shall regret confronting the emissary of the Lord. You shall know divine power.
So I could go through more options, but I'm just gonna,
I shot him.
Yep.
So I actually don't know if you shooting Nathaniel has a change on Norman's drug addiction that makes him indulge more, but I'm very curious to see if it affects the story.
Looks like you did. Can't say I'll miss him. Come on, let's go.
So we broke into this man's house, shot him, and then we're just gonna leave. Not even gonna call it in or anything. So Norman's gonna be all like, that was the first person I shot, and Carter's like, don't worry, you'll get used to it. And he's all like, I don't want to get used to it, and then it fades away. But usually you talk about, like, why didn't you shoot him, blah, 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 and then you can get really mad at Carter as Jaden. Also, this car looks like it's straight out of Gary's mod. Actually, this game looks like it's straight out of Gary's mod.
Asthma free for the moment, love it.
So this is where we find the woman of one of the children that the origami killer has murdered, and we find her in a very dangerous situation, and we get here just in the nick of time.
Goddamn wound still hurting me. Need to keep my nose clean for a while.
So he mentioned the wound, and that's the one that we got from the gunshot at the convenience store / gas station or whatever it was. And he doesn't say that if you don't get shot, obviously. He gets a different line of dialogue.
Susan Bowles, mother of the origami killer's latest victim. Maybe she knows something about the circumstances surrounding her son.
The only person who seems to say origami right is Scott Shelby, and for reasons. Again. He's climbing in your windows, snatching your people up, trying to investigate them.
Mrs. Bowles.
I'm not sure I want this kind of man
Jeez.
coming into my house.
Parents today.
If I was a young woman whose son was just murdered.
Out leaving a poor little kid like that. Anybody home? I don't know why, but I got a bad feeling about this.
So this woman, I understand that she's distraught over losing her son, but well, if you haven't noticed, yeah, she's obviously in a bad way right now. She's in the bathroom bleeding out, apparently, or definitely she is. And she didn't, I mean, one, I can understand how she'd, you know, want to not be here if her son was just murdered by a serial killer. But she has another baby that she has to take care of, and her father and the baby's father is missing. And she's just gonna go and, that's not very fair to the baby. Also, babies can't really live too long without, you know, necessary stuff. So what happens if Scott doesn't show up here? Does the baby just, you know, die of starvation or thirst in that crib over there, or stroller, if Scott never shows up here? Because I mean, come on. So we can choose to have the woman, the mother, bleed out, and we can leave her, and we can take care of the baby and stuff first, and make sure the baby. But so if you're going for perfect crime, which we've already failed the requirements for, so there's no reason I can't help this woman, but I'm not really feeling like rescuing her. And I also want to see, I want to make sure we get a unique story that no one else would ever get, and do sorts of you know, things that wouldn't happen. So we're going to retrieve the evidence, take care of the baby, feed the baby, all that stuff, call, make sure we have someone here, then we're going to leave the woman in the bathtub.
Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute. This letter. Holy fuck. I hope she hasn't. Hang on, baby. First I gotta find Mama. Come on, I have to search the house. Maybe it's not too late.
Okay, so we're gonna take care of the baby first.
Oh, you're looking for your mama.
Okay, well, we have to find her first. So, I hope it's not... For perfect crime, you have to let everyone die, essentially. So, it's also a very hard achievement to unlock, because it actually takes skill to have everyone die. Like the clerk at the gas station, we've already failed. That was the first time you even had to do it. And we've already failed perfect crime, so I don't exactly know what I'm trying to do here.
Come on, I have to search the house. Maybe it's not too late.
So she's in the bathroom right here, which I thought for sure was right there.
Mrs. Bowles? Mrs. Bowles, are you there? Oh, shit.
So if I just don't do anything here, she will pass on. But I'm just gonna see what happens.
Mrs. Bowles! Mrs. Bowles, can you hear me? Wake up! Wake up!
So I think we've already saved her at this point. I think we're at the point of no return here. We can't let her... She won't die if we, you know. But if you just hover over her in the bathtub after you find her, you can just leave. Because if you stay on that screen for 30 seconds or a minute or whatever...
Oh, an ambulance.
No, I don't want to go to the hospital, please.
Okay. You got something around here I can dress this?
She has no idea who this man is, and I don't think she'd probably be screaming.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, don't move. I'll be right back.
So I know we have to wash our hands before we can take care of the baby.
Let's see. I need this, and this, and this.
So again, if I had succeeded in letting the gas station attendant perish, then we'd definitely not be
Stay with me, Susan.
doing this right now.
Susan, do you hear me? Susan, stay with me. Can you hear me? Stay with me. Okay, come on. There, I done what I can. That should stop the bleeding. Luckily, the wounds aren't too deep.
He only did one arm.
How do you feel? Okay.
My baby. My baby needs me.
Right. You stay there. I'll take care of the baby.
She just admitted that her baby needs her, as does any baby needs their mother. But she was totally committed to, you know, committing suicide, so I mean, she's contradicting herself here.
Okay.
Also, as she's killing herself, she's almost definitely killing her baby too, in the process.
Do you know what
Unintentionally.
to do? With
Or
a
maybe intentionally, because, I mean, how do you not think that when you know...
baby, I mean.
I'm a private eye. There's nothing I can't do.
Her name is Emily.
I was a private... Gotcha. Mommy will live for now. Let's see how Junior's doing.
What? Oh, yeah. I was too busy informing you on the mother's questionable decisions that I forgot to wash my hands. So, I definitely do not trust Scott Shelby around children.
So, what seems to be the problem, huh? Oh! Going by the smell, I got a pretty good idea. Okay. How do you do this?
How is he? Scott Shelby doesn't have any children, so I don't know how he knows how to clean diapers. Using.
No, brother, that's not the right way. Okay. Let's start again.
Using both hands to push all the buttons here, and this is just for changing diapers. It's not like someone's got a knife at your throat or is trying to shoot you, like it will be later.
That should feel better. Right, Emily? Hey, what's the matter? I thought we solved the problem. Why is she crying? I'll ask Susan. She'll know what to do.
So,
Look ill. Of course. Now I know why you're crying, my little peachy poke. Mother Shelby to the rescue. Maybe she's hungry. Why is she crying?
yeah, so she needs the
I'll
bottle,
ask Susan. She'll know what
which
to do.
is here.
I guess I better warm this thing up.
So we kind of just have to wait for this milk to... That was shockingly fast. I don't think it would take that fast in real life. So I just watched the Adam McKay movie Vice with Christian Bale as Dick Cheney. I can't really... Jesse Plemons is in it, which was surprising because from the narrator, I could have swore it was the man who voices the animated talking Chef Rat, because it sounded very similar. So when I saw Jesse Plemons as the my television, I've said this many times, but the sound on it is terrible, so that's probably why I couldn't distinguish Jesse Plemons' voice. But I was surprised to see Jesse Plemons. And when he gets run over by the car, and that took me by surprise a little bit because it came out of nowhere. Imagine living your entire life, going to war in Iraq, coming home and like jogging and get hit by a minivan, and that's how you die. That would be embarrassing, but apparently it happened to Jesse Plemons' character. I don't really... I mean, it was an okay movie, and that's saying a lot for yours truly because he doesn't usually have nice things to say about anything. So, yeah, it's not... I'd probably rank it at around 28, 29 on my movies list. I don't have the physical version of it. I saw it on the streaming service Hulu, so that's how I viewed the movie, or the film. Do you know it's called movie because it's short for moving picture, and it just stuck? And that's what the people in the 30s, 40s, they called moving pictures movies because they were used to talkies, which were the still photograph, and you know, there were talkies. Talkies were the ones, or moving pictures. Talkies and movies are the same thing. And before talkies, they had the, you know, the picture, the still picture, like old Hollywood. So I messed up my words there for a minute, but you get what I'm trying to say here. The point I was making was, it's an okay movie. It's solid. It's an easy 7 out of 10, but still probably wouldn't get the top 25 in my film movie you know, preferences collection, etc. I also watched Public Enemies, another Christian Bale movie. A coincidence just there, and Johnny Depp is also in that. That one doesn't have as high production value as Vice did, but I think it's a better movie. The effects aren't really worth... Oh, the effects in Vice are... They both use CGI blood, I noticed that, but solely because Johnny Depp is in that, and I could have swore that the lady that plays John Dillinger's girlfriend was Winona Ryder, and I was having a holy crap moment until I realized it's just a woman who vaguely resembles her when she's smiling and giggly. So I was very let down by that, but I digress.
You hungry? Huh? Hold on. I'll just tilt this bottle a little bit so you don't choke.
It's pretty funny if you let go of this because the baby just starts choking, and so I'm not gonna do that obviously, but there's a couple walking with an umbrella. Who walks in the rain, by the way? Actually, I don't know why I'm saying that. I like walking in the rain. It makes you feel powerful, okay? Cutting through the grass, cutting through the woods, when it's thunderstorming, raining, you're running, your sweater is completely soaked, your collarbone is sticking out, because as we've stated, 6'2" male, 117 pounds, very bony and slightly unsettling to look at. Not that I don't think many teenage girls would necessarily find me attractive, but it's not like I'm not gonna get into my you know, looks here, but nothing you look twice at unless you were trying to run away from him. then you'd probably look twice at him because you need to know where he's at. Unfortunately for them, I can shapeshift, so you know, bad news for them. I'm completely talking out of my ass right now, if you haven't realized. But I mean, yeah, I'm obviously I'm not going to reveal my identity or show you a picture of myself, but I think a solid 7 out of 10 teenage girls wouldn't be overly repulsed. So there's that going for me. And the other 3 that would, probably understandable because of yours truly's. I mean, yours truly calls himself yours truly, and that's pretty much a red flag right there, just number 1. And if you listen to all these playthroughs, which you haven't because I'm the only one who's gonna ever see these videos, you'll understand why those 3 girls would say. Actually, I'm being a little narcissistic here. Only probably, well, it doesn't really matter how many girls think you're attractive. You just need to find the one that you think does, and hope that you know, that you can reciprocate and build a relationship, or a loving relationship, eventually fall in love. Or, well, whenever it's always instant. Not that I've only ever had one, you know, experience with that. Okay, we're moving on.
Oh, good job, Emily. You're feeling good now, right? Now, I'm gonna rock you very gently so you can have a nice little snooze, okay?
I need to make sure I don't swing the baby through that window. See, my thumb was still in the wrong, yeah, I did it again. My thumb is still in the wrong direction and it starts too early. That's a very creepy looking teddy bear.
Right. That's about the limit of my maternal powers. Poor kid. Life ain't gonna be easy for her.
That's the smallest television I've ever seen in a suburban household in the late 2000s.
Thanks for looking after my baby.
He's having PTSD over here.
I don't leave her. I just couldn't cope anymore.
He's not listening to a word she's saying.
Having Jeremy around. He was such a good boy. Can't understand why anyone would want to hurt him.
Do you take care of this baby on your own? Doesn't Jeremy's father live with you anymore?
He disappeared. The day
Obviously, you're
after
not
Jeremy.
supposed to be staring out the window.
I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he couldn't take it. Ever since I've had to look.
So again, you never do find out what happened to Jeremy's father. It's heavily hinted that he's been killed at the hand by the origami killer. Or it's not heavily hinted per se, but I'm assuming that he either bailed, like, you know, fathers do, unfortunately, or he got the letter that Ethan did and somehow died during the trials, which is kind of BS when you look at it, because you never find anyone's body during any of the trials on Ethan. So he either died during one of the trials and the origami killer cleaned it up and got rid of the body, or he, more realistically, he just bailed and left the wife and the daughter.
Look after Emily all on my own. And
Man, I forgot that I was supposed to be holding down.
I understand. Did your husband say anything before he disappeared? Did he leave a note or something?
No. He left the house without a word, and there was just the cell phone.
A cell phone?
Yeah, I found a cell phone in his dresser. I'm sure it wasn't his. I'd never seen it before. I tried to turn it on, but it didn't work.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's in a drawer in the living room. You can have it if you'd like. I'm sure it's of more use to you than to me.
Do you have any family or anybody to help you?
Yeah. My mother. I didn't want to ask her for anything. We don't really get along. But I guess I'm out of options.
Well, look after yourself. And Emily.
I will. I promise.
I don't really think I believe her.
In a drawer in the living room. That's what Susan said.
So Lauren and Susan look shockingly familiar, so I'm assuming they just took Lauren's model or Susan's model, because these are all supposed to be real people doing the facial animation, but I think in this case they might have just kind of swapped a little bit of the
Good luck, Emily.
facial features and kind of winged it.
You take care of your mom.
There's an overwhelming sense of ginger or nutmeg or something in this room, and I can only ever sense it when I like breathe through my nose when I'm making these videos or whatever I'm doing. But it's only ever when I'm recording. I didn't get that from Beyond Two Souls, so I don't really know what's going on. So now we just have to leave. In the nicest way possible, Scott Shelby looks just like his car. So, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, Lucifer Season 6. Huge disappointment. They pretty much, as soon as Netflix got the rights to that show, they turned it into a train wreck, because it was a genuinely good show when it was under Fox for the first few seasons, and then it gets more and more fake, and all these like social media like people come in, and everything's so like, that's what Netflix does. Netflix makes terrible content. Just unoriginal, terrible content with too many I mean, it's terrible acting in the later seasons. It's terrible writing. I mean, everyone who works for Netflix and makes the films for Netflix is just such a liberal hipster, like poorly. They can't do anything right. Nothing ever comes off as meaningful. One of the only few exceptions I've seen is The Irishman, which isn't Scorsese, and that's because they got Scorsese to come and direct it. They didn't use one of Netflix's people to, you know, write the script, or it's just a Scorsese film exclusive to Netflix is what it would have been anyway. If Netflix wasn't a thing, they would have still made it. But Netflix originals, or Netflix, you know what I'm getting at. They hire the worst people. They're always, I mean, it's garbage content like that. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do, but it's not. It's just stupid. So as soon as Lucifer has been ruined for me ever since Chloe found out about Lucifer through killing Cain, and yeah, it gets more. It's so fake and not, it doesn't even have to do anything with, the plot makes no sense compared to what it was in season 1, and that's not like, I mean, like, you take a show like Dexter, right? Dexter has roughly the same plot every single season. He has to, he finds a killer, and he's a killer, and he has to kill the killer. And that's the same for every season. In Lucifer, there's completely different things going on in each season. It's like an entirely new show each season, past like season 4. And Samael, Lucifer, is mad at God for banishing him to hell for justifiable reasons, according to Lucifer. And by the end of it, God is like they've completely forgiven each other, and oh, whoa, kids will be kids, blah, blah, blah. And it just becomes so stupid, and it's ruined the show for me. And the aesthetic of the show, everything is gray and like blue and muted, dark, gloomy colors in the first season. And everything's all colorful and over the top dramatic, and there's an episode where they just dance because God makes them dance and whenever he's around, and it's just so childish and goofy, and it's stupid, because that's what Netflix does. Netflix ruins good things. Move quickly, the whole controller. I don't think that's worded right. So, Sean could have possibly been, I mean, he most assuredly would have been saved if Ethan teamed up with Norman and all of them, if he just showed the box to the police. Alright, I have confirmation that Heavy Rain Part 2 has officially been uploaded after, no joke, about 16 hours of trying to upload it, which is just fantastic, because now I'm going to have to do the same thing all over again with this one, which is probably going to be twice as long as Part 2.
Can't stop thinking about that well. Sean seemed exhausted, but at least he's alive. I'll do anything to get him out of there. The parking lot ticket and the origami figure leads to this garage. What am I going to find here? I should go talk to the garage guy over there.
So, unlike in Beyond Two Souls, there's not really a whole lot to do in like the area when you're walking from one place to another. There's no hidden bonuses or anything like that. There's nothing you can really interact with. I mean, if this is Beyond Two Souls, I'd be able to like interact with this tire and like inspect it and all that crap.
Excuse me? Hey! Oh! Huh. Sorry. Didn't see you. What can I do you for?
The mouths, in LA Noire, this is not a problem. The mouths sync up perfectly to the words, but in this game, it's kind of hit and miss.
I'd like to get my car.
Hey, you're a pretty patient guy, you are. That car's been there for 2 years. We took it out for a drive every month and checked the tires and batteries, just like you said. Here, it's the 3rd floor down. Thanks. Service elevator is at the... Ah, you have yourself a good one, Chief.
Again, no one thought that was suspicious, that no one showed up for the car in 2 years. Also, Ethan thinks he's the origami killer, even though 2 years before this is apparently when he put the plan in motion, and he's just recently having the hallucinations, and Sean still wasn't dead 2 years ago. Jason wasn't even dead 2 years ago. So there's no way the origami killer is Ethan, because the origami killer predates his criminal enterprises and all that stuff, and Jason's still alive when Ethan's supposedly the origami killer, and he doesn't even... It's just so stupid, and I don't know why this is even a subplot in this game. Hour number 2 of part 3, or 1 in a... Hour number 1 going on hour number... No. this should be like a minute and one. It should be like a minute over an hour at this point. But anyway, as I was saying, Ethan's a total idiot. Okay, he can't do anything. There's no way he'd be able to methodically plan this whole origami killer thing out 2 years in advance before his like first killing, and he hasn't. It takes him 7 other little kids before he gets around to his own son to kill. That just it's BS, and it makes no sense that Ethan is the origami killer. Yet he convinces himself that he is the origami killer, and everyone is convinced he's the origami killer. If he had half a brain, he'd be able to put 2 and 2 together.
Dozens of cars. Which one am I looking for?
Alrighty. I knew it wasn't there. I just did that for... Let's see if there was a magazine or something you could pull out. .160. There's a 180 on the speedometer. There's no way this car is hitting 180.
Your destination is 4 miles from here. Leave the parking lot and take the first right.
So that clock said 3:04 on the thing right there. So the next time it shows the time, it's probably going to be drastically wrong, like it is with these old games. There's very little attention to detail on little things like that. So he's gonna reverse out of that. How did he go out of that garage facing forward? Because he had to go into that garage, or the elevator service lift, driving into it, because there's no probably space to turn around on that thing, and there's definitely no space to turn around on the top floor. So there's no way that he should be backing out onto the street right now. That also took him like 30 minutes minimum to do. So wasting his time instead of saving Sean. Little flaws like that make this game and Beyond, actually this game and Beyond Two Souls are probably not comparable. I'll reach my verdict at the end of this game, but I'm kind of leaning towards Beyond Two Souls since I just played it. And but Heavy Rain is also, I mean, neither of them can touch LA Noire, because LA Noire is the ultimate video game in my opinion. My #1 video game of all time is The Thousand Year Door, but that just caters ultimately to my preferences. Also, it's for nostalgia reasons. I played that game many times when I was 4, 5, 6, and it's just that's probably one of the only reasons it's #1. It's a very good game, The Thousand Year Door, and I've 100%ed it. And I would definitely be playing through it right now instead of Heavy Rain if I could screen record and add voice for GameCube games, which unfortunately is not a viable option right now because I lack the equipment. On PS4 you can just record from the PS4. It's an option that you can do inside the console itself. You don't need any external hardware or anything. What was I saying? LA Noire, #2 on my top 10 games of all time list for very good reasons. The music, the atmosphere, the characters, the feel of the game, the setting of the game. 1940s Los Angeles, perfect setting for a game, and you're a detective, and you have to deal with all the political and everything is just perfect about that game. I'm not going to say perfect, it's as close to perfect as I think any video game I will play in my life will be. And unfortunately they're not making a second LA Noire because the company that did the facial software went out of business, and they don't own the rights to the Rockstar does not own the rights to LA Noire anymore, because it was all It's all very complicated, but LA Noire 2 is never going to happen. Bully 2 was supposed to come out last year or year before last, which would be 2019. But since of the China plague, we've been pushed back unnecessarily. So, yeah. Bully 2, I'll probably pick that up when it comes out. Unless it's a PS5, Xbox One X exclusive, then I will definitely pass on that until those consoles reach, you know, holiday prices, $300 something. I'm getting off the topic here.
You have reached your destination. Are you ready to show your courage in order to save your son?
Yes.
Listen carefully. Take the highway and drive against the traffic for 5 miles. If you haven't reached your destination in 5 minutes, you will have failed.
I don't want to die. Not here. Not like this. If I succeed, I'll get more letters for the hangar. It's my only need. No turning back now.
Is there a time on this? 43013, 400 feet, okay.
I can do it. I'd do anything to save my son.
Because it was 30 something. It's still 304. So yeah, that's just a JPEG probably.
A lot of good it'll do Sean if I kill myself on this highway.
Don't worry, Jaden will swoop in and get him.
Go the wrong way on the highway for 5 miles? Am I willing to take that risk in order to save my son?
Not really a risk when yours truly is playing.
I've got to do it, for Sean's sake.
It's pretty much a sure thing that I will succeed. So here we go, the first trial. It takes a skilled driver to do such a thing, especially when it's raining. My driving test was actually, it was pouring down rain the entire time I took my driving test. I parallel parked like a champion. I've never... Okay, that happens no matter what. Yeah, but my driving teacher opened the... Keep in mind, I'm not at the age where you're supposed to be doing the driving test. I'm much older. So, not much older, but I'm not going to divulge my age, but I'm older than you're probably thinking when I'm talking about taking my driving test. So my driving teacher opened the door. I was perfect positioning. I was straight as myself, and I was just a perfect amount away from the curb. I completely lined up to the car in front of me and behind me. I highly doubt I'll ever parallel park that perfectly again in my life.
You still have 4 miles to go before you reach your destination.
And it was pouring rain. It was exactly like this is what it was. And that was for the whole driving test, not just parallel parking. Oh, I went the wrong way. I was supposed to go right there. I don't think you actually run over anyone if you miss the command inputs. So I don't think Ethan can actually die here, but he will die in the other trials if you mess up. Actually, I don't think Ethan... I'm trying to remember if Ethan can die before he's supposed to. I mean, he can die in the endings, of course, and towards the end of the game. I'm trying to think of the earliest moment Ethan can die. It's definitely not in the next trial. Or the one where he has to maim himself. He can't get shot by the police. I think Ethan can't really die until the end of this game. Madison and Norman, however, can die pretty much right off the bat.
You still have 1 mile to go before you
Oh god, I was looking down at the microphone right there because it's kind of getting far away from me. Ruined that guy's day.
Oh, fuck!
So I didn't mess up a single command input in that entire time, and that's just a rare glimpse of, or not a rare glimpse, but that's kind of what you expect when you have me playing this game. Usually people are all over the road and they're always messing up. I've played so many hours of this game, I'm a semi-pro at it.
Your reward is in the glove compartment. The key is
Actually, I'm not a semi-pro, I'm a full-on professional.
glove compartment. The key is inside the GPS. Your reward.
I mean, he probably could have figured this out even if he failed. I mean, if I was in the situation, which I, wouldn't be, but I would take the GPS with me if I failed or not, and then do some, research on it, crack it open eventually, probably in a fit of rage. But yeah, I'd definitely advance the plot. That was the wrong. So I think, actually I might be wrong, Ethan might burn to death if you stay in this car long enough. I don't think I've ever tried that one out. But I'm pretty sure he just gets out anyway and gives up. What? He didn't get it? It was at the very end. Yeah, okay. I let go right before it did it. I have to try both ways before any of them work, I'm pretty sure. So this is the way you're supposed to go. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's been like a year and a half since I've played this game. He didn't get any of this stuff. Also, no one's here yet. Some civilian would have stopped by now. I wouldn't be doing this when it was heavily raining, because if this thing shorts out or he drops it in that puddle there, it's pretty much game over for Ethan, because he can't, if it doesn't work. This is risky. Also, there's probably glare or something. So Sean's kind of swimming, he's propelling himself upwards. I don't know why he's not just hanging on to the gate with his hands and just kind of, like crossing he's interlocking, put both hands up around the gate and interlock your fingers. And then you could just stay there for days if it came to that. He could probably squeeze his little 8-year-old head through the thing for air, because it's not going to fill up all the way that much. So I don't know about Sean's tactics here. Roosevelt. Yeah, I already know what the address is, so this whole hangman getting the letters thing really isn't important. How does the origami killer, knowing what we know about him, have the technological skills to program a cell phone to, like, pretty much work as, help people program calculators to play games on them? How did this man know how to do that? He's not some tech wizard. He's not a Mac genius. he's very smart for having to evade police for this long as a, you know, a serial killer. I'm sure it takes skill and some level of intuition or wit or something. Not that I know anything about that. So this is the dumbest. So it's 3:15. So this is supposedly like 9 minutes after Ethan got in the car at the garage. So Ethan shouldn't even be. He should still be on the highway right now. He should still be in the garage doing a U-turn. But none of that matters because she's about to run into him, which doesn't make sense and is a major flaw. So there was a DLC for this game at Once Upon a Time that you played as Medicine in a taxidermist.
I'm worn out. I've gotta sleep. The reception. Let's hope they've got a room left.
In a taxidermist house. And it's unfortunate for me because it's virtually impossible to get that DLC now without having an old like account that has the DLC installed on it. And yeah, it's pretty much impossible to get the DLC for this, you know, 12-year-old game. Because it's not available on the PlayStation 4 store as of this recording.
Hello there, sweetheart. What can I do for you?
I'd like a room.
For you? Anything. Feeling the register.
I see David Cage is playing himself here. As I assume this is how he... Again, the teeth in this game are creeping me out. This guy looks like Kenny from Friday the 13th if he was like... Kenny has PTSD from surviving Jason, which realistically isn't happening because Kenny's one of the weaker... He's one of the worst characters in that game. Besides the JR. Yeah, Kenny's terrible. That's besides the point. This is if Kenny survives Jason and becomes like a... Like, you know, a drug user, pretty much. That's Kenny.
Madison, page 27. Single.
I feel like Chris Hansen is about to walk in here and tell this guy to have a seat.
How long will you be staying with us, Miss Page?
I don't know yet.
Room 201. Last floor, stairs on the right, to the courtyard.
Thanks.
She didn't pay or anything.
That's for sure. Room 201. Stairs on the
Pretty sure it's not good for her motorcycle to be out in the rain.
Obnoxious receptionist better not have a spare key
Because
to
there's
my
no
room.
roof over a motorcycle keeping the components, you know, from messing up
201.
or rusting.
Stairs on the right, last floor.
So she's going to see Ethan here and bandage him up and all that crap. And if you left the box on the counter as Ethan...
Room 201. Stairs on the right.
If you left... There is not 300 and whatever rooms in this thing. There's like, you know, 30 or whatever. And they're just using that number as a, you know, a number. So if you left the box on the counter as Ethan, you can investigate it as Madison. Purely optional, of course, but then you'll know that she suspects him of the killer if you... 201, not 211. See, I wouldn't be messing up here.
Is he wounded? Maybe I should take a look. Room 201. Stairs on the right, last floor.
Sir? Are you all right? I'll call an ambulance.
I don't know why people always want to call ambulances. Big red flag. No one, if somebody calls an ambulance for me, I am straight up gonna punch them in the face because I do not need a $3,000 fine for an ambulance ride for 10 minutes to the hospital. I can drive myself, thank you very much. I'm not paying it.
You're badly hurt. You need a doctor.
Please, just help me to my room. It's number 207.
It's none of my business. I'll just leave him there and tell the receptionist.
Yeah, she
She
doesn't.
doesn't want to go to the hospital. Why?
Because it's expensive and unnecessarily. Oh, I didn't even get to pick the last one.
Have you got the key?
I don't know what Madison finds so desirable about Ethan. Because he's just weird. Creepy.
He's really out of it. What the hell happened to him?
Oh gee, I'm just now realizing you can change the camera angle with L1. Well, that's
He's
just...
in trouble.
That could have helped me out immensely in Beyond Two
Walk
Souls.
away and leave him like that.
If they kept that
I'll
mechanic,
help him
that is.
first and ask questions later.
You said you were just going to drop him off and leave. See, the box is supposed to be right here if you didn't put it under the bed. Like I very wisely did. The first time around when I played this too, I did that too. But, yeah, she can look through the boxes and everything, and he gets, you know... Well, he's passed out, of course, not when he's awake. You can also choose to use the wrong medicine on him. Well, I gotta get the... Also, why does a motel room cabinet have every single type of medicine she
You
needs?
should see a doctor.
Must have one, maybe two broken ribs. It's not fatal. But it's sore as hell.
Your head is bleeding. It looks deep.
Head wounds just bleed a lot.
Medicine. There's bound to be a medicine cabinet in the bathroom.
In this cheapo motel for some reason. And
I
they
should
have
disinfect
everything
his
you need.
cuts.
Surprisingly.
I should disinfect his cuts.
I know, I'm trying to figure out what...
Paracetamol painkiller. Administer in cases of intense pain. Do not take more than one pill every 24 hours.
Here. Take this. It should do you some good. It's a painkiller. It'll help reduce the pain.
Very good medicine. You got it.
It says on the box to take one every 24 hours. I don't think it's a good idea to exceed the dose.
See, medicine's just so unnecessary. She's pretty much only here to tell you... I mean, to tell other people what, you know, you, the person, already knows.
I can't afford to wait.
Also, again, she said she was just gonna leave him here, and it's none of her business, but she's making it her business.
Necophren 100 antibiotics. Administer to combat infection. I don't think he needs that.
I know. You can give it to him anyway.
Paraphenol
He's like,
anti-fever.
he gives you like resting Ethan face.
Administer only in cases of high fever.
He does have a fever, but I need to feel his head first before I give him that, or else he'll be like, I don't have a fever. Well, let me feel you in a not suggestive way. PG, rated G,
Necophren 100
G for...
antibiotics. Administer to combat infection.
Every single camera angle in this game, when it switches, it goes right to Madison's butt. And I don't approve. I keep on grabbing the wrong one because this camera angle is so crap I can't see what I'm supposed to click. Okay, finally.
Paraphenol anti-fever. Administer only in cases of high fever.
Here. Take this. It should do you some good.
What is it?
It'll help bring down the fever.
But I'm,
not running a fever.
I know he is.
Okay, I'll see if I can find anything else.
I've already given him the painkillers. He doesn't have an infection. She feels his head. What is going on? No, good lord. The freaking game just crashed. That's what you freaking get, Ethan. I swear to God. I know he has a fever. He made me walk back in here and crash the game. $5 for freaking bath towels? Who's stealing gross motel bath mats and why are they so expensive? Well, I just soft locked myself, which means I'm gonna have to do that all over again. I was about to say, I hope I didn't corrupt the save. Madison's head, her nose is like unusually, I don't know, I think she might have had some...
He's in trouble.
You're really in bad shape. You should see a doctor.
Must have one, maybe two broken ribs. It's not fatal.
So, since Ethan made me soft lock myself, I'm gonna not give him any painkillers so he can suffer.
Your head is bleeding. It looks deep.
I better be able to grab this time because I was able to grab it the first time, so I don't think it's specific to the... Yeah.
I should disinfect his cuts.
Alright. So we're not gonna fiddle around here. We need to make up for all the lost time.
I'm gonna disinfect your wound. This might hurt a little.
I shouldn't be so gentle, but I'm going to show off my skills more than out of concern for Ethan. But
At least it won't get infected.
Thanks.
do I have to give him the painkillers? Oh, that's so stupid. He needs to suffer for his Yeah, I know, I can see you're in pain there, Ethan. Which one was it? That one?
Paracetamol painkiller. Administer in cases of intense pain.
I don't really trust any drugs that are found in the motel bathroom. Also, this is a motel bathroom. All the painkillers would have been taken by someone already.
Do not take more than one pill every 24 hours.
Here, take this. It should do you some good. It's a painkiller. It'll help reduce the pain.
Thank you very much, Madison. Didn't know that.
It says on the box to take one every 24 hours. I don't think it's a good idea to exceed the dose.
I can't afford to wait.
I wouldn't move around for a few days if I were you.
I'm gonna take a shower.
Alright, let me...
Such a weird character. Again, she said she would just leave him here. This person you've never ever met and you're gonna take a shower?
I'll wait here until you come out. Let me know if you need anything.
And he doesn't even close the door all the way. Why is he even taking a shower? He should be out trying to find Sean. He shouldn't even be taking a shower. Also, why is Madison being so creepy here?
Talk to me. That way I'll know if you pass out.
What's your name?
What happens if I just don't answer him?
Are you still there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Madison.
Are you staying in the hotel?
No, I live in town. I suffer from chronic insomnia. I seem to only be able to sleep in motels. Don't ask me why. Whenever I get too exhausted, I come and spend a night here.
I'm just passing through. And what else do you do, Madison?
Also, why is Ethan, like, Ethan needs to be out finding Sean. Why is he even making small talk?
I'm a photographer. I take pictures of furniture for fashionable design magazines. And you?
No, she doesn't. She's a journalist. She just lied to him.
I'm an architect.
So this is where you can snoop around his stuff while he's taking a shower.
Thanks for staying. I feel a lot better now.
He still has 2, maybe 3 broken ribs. So...
Okay. It better get going then. By the way, you never told me your name.
And you're never gonna get it.
Ethan.
Ethan makes all the wrong moves and puts his trust in the wrong people. And he's also an idiot. That's why Jaden reigns supreme. Okay, so now we have to...
The box. I have to open another origami figure. Man, I'm thirsty. I don't have much time. I've got to find my son before it's too late. I'm still in pain, but I gotta keep going. I don't know why she helped me.
I don't either.
I hope she won't tell anyone.
Why would you tell anyone? Okay, so we're gonna take more pills here. Oh, never mind. Or I was going to take more pills. So, he said thirsty, so I'm gonna give him a drink here. This water that comes in a wine bottle. That seems like a waste of resources. So, in a later episode where Madison has to call Ethan at this hotel room and you have to remember the number to tip him off about the police coming, I think that's when I'm going to get Ethan arrested and he's going to stay in jail while Norman gets the victory. So I'm going to purposely forget the number, probably. I don't know, we'll see what happens. The only thing that's set in stone certainly is that Norman's going to be the one saving Sean. And also Madison's gonna die because I don't like her. For justifiable reasons. His gun is missing. You can't tell me it's still in his pants after he like took it off and took a shower and all that stuff. Playing as Jaden. So Ethan has just left for trial number 2, but we're not going to play as Ethan just yet because it's Jaden's turn. So this is where we're trying to interrogate the man who has the neck tattoos and the red sweater, and we chase him through the supermarket. That's an El Camino. This is where Carter asks you about Nathaniel.
Was that the first time?
Sorry?
First time you killed somebody. It always does something to you the first time. Then you get used to it.
I'm not sure I want to get used to it. That's him.
Or can I? Yeah, I was supposed to say, I don't think I can read Jaden's thoughts right now. I can tell you, Jaden really pulls off his outfit way better than Ethan could, or anyone could, probably.
Lieutenant Carter Blake, I'd like to ask you some questions. Shit, don't just stand there, he's gonna get away!
So we're gonna try and get him, we're gonna try and jump on him from the supermarket. We're not gonna chase him into the meat locker if it's avoidable. So although it seems like this is happening instantaneously, there's actually very major like camera changes and everything. So this isn't all happening in one fluid motion. The cutscenes are like spliced together. So this is kind of the point where it gets more, you know, you have to actually pay attention. So we jumped on him there. So that's what I was trying to do. Those are some weird colored fish. I wouldn't be eating any fish that look like that at the supermarket. So again, yours truly nailed those QuickTime events.
No way he's escaping. I'm gonna get that bastard. Come on. Show your ugly bastard face. Shit! Where'd he go? I can't see anything here.
So I was close enough to him where he could have...
Where the fuck is Blake? Damn place is freezing. My hands are numb.
Yeah, Jaden definitely saw which way he came in here because I was close enough to him. Probably within 6-8 feet. In a real life situation. He aced that guy. Again, FBI superior to CIA because they actually trained superhuman strength with that crowbar or whatever he threw at him. This guy is assaulting an FBI special agent. He's also expecting to win against an FBI special agent, which is just ridiculous. Norman doesn't have any entities that he can just pull out. So, yeah, fair game here. How does he know that we're in here? I mean, knowing Blake, he would have been down and out after that coffee for a good 15 minutes.
This time it looks like we got our origami killer.
Again, mispronunciation. Speaking of, it is currently 7:47 Eastern, and I am starving. I've been trying to record this for probably since 4:35. Keep on having problems.
All the newspapers are talking about Sean Mars, the kid who disappeared. Can't breathe with this goddamn humidity. Hope it stops raining soon. I needed the rest. I haven't been sleeping well since the murder started up again. I've seen the parents of all the victims. And all I've come up with is this telephone and a box of origami figures.
I feel like it should probably be on his person instead of in a box at his house. So, we spent a lot of time investigating 𝘚𝘵𝘴 and his father, and he's supposedly the... So here we learned that Scott Shelby is a former cop, which will come in handy later. Which I already knew, obviously, but... You know, but... Was I saying, the Kramer people that he investigates is a just wasted part of time, because he knows that 𝘚𝘵𝘴 isn't the origami killer, but he indulges him anyway to try to make, you know... You see the point I'm getting at here. Yeah, I'm sure that'll help your asthma there, clear out your you know, sinuses and everything. So I want to... So he's on like the second or third floor. I want to check something really quick. Nope. That'd be kind of cheeky if you could. So this is a key of information right here, but it's not really intended for you to like put two and two together at this point. But also, who has a map of where they live inside their house? I mean, no one, probably. Also, these names of streets that are like named after like last names, I'm sure they were named that because of the people who worked on this game. They probably just kind of took, they like to do that when they're making video games. So this is where Lauren comes to, you know, try to help. So at this point, we're just kind of waiting for her to come. Why is everyone's house is like falling apart, and there's like gashes and everything in the wallpaper and everything else? That seems like a picture that no like police officer would have taken of themselves.
You said I could contact you if I remembered anything. Can I come in?
Sure.
The only character that doesn't have two first names in this is Ethan, because Mars, not a very common first name if it is a first name, because Scott, Shelby, Madison, Paige, Norman, Jaden. Sit down.
Take a seat.
I'm gonna pull a dateline here.
Didn't really expect to see her. Wonder what she wants.
He did a whirly-twirly there.
I just remembered something. Maybe it's not important, but a letter arrived in the mail the morning Johnny disappeared.
A letter? What kind of a letter?
It was addressed to Johnny's father. I don't know what was inside it, but he read it and then he left. That's the last time I saw him.
And you think there's a connection between that letter and Johnny's death, is that it?
So I'm assuming the origami killer dispatches the fathers if they fail the trials. But that isn't the case with Ethan because, you know, it just isn't. So I don't really know what happens to the fathers who get the letters and go, and it's never explained, and it's another flaw about this game.
Well, I don't know why, but I kept the envelope.
Nothing particular. Except the address.
The address?
It was typed with an old typewriter. Could be a lead, you never know. Well, thanks for your help, Lord. I'll let you know if it leads to anything.
Wait, I can't just sit around and do nothing while you're out there looking for the man who killed my son.
She can lay around.
I've been thinking, and I want to come with you. Help you in your investigation.
The answer is no.
If you won't let me help you, I'm keeping the envelope. It's all or nothing.
Why would she even come here with the envelope if she comes with this like ridiculous "I'm gonna work with you whether you like it or not" strategy? I mean, why not? She can, you know, that's just it's kind of not a good move on Lauren's part.
Listen, an investigation like this is dangerous, and I don't have time to play the bodyguard.
How many clues have you got, Mr. Shelby?
Enough to keep the origami killer from getting caught.
This envelope. Maybe your only link to the killer.
Ironic.
I understand. It was a stupid idea. Sorry for wasting your time, Mr. Shelby.
Wait.
So obviously, no matter what you say, the outcome's the same here.
You're really something special, Lord. I'll give you that.
I'm just a mother. A mother who wants to find out who killed her son. Are we partners?
We're partners.
I'm sure many mothers who've had children been kidnapped and killed and they never found out who did it. So it's just a piece of information. So right now we're at the 𝘚𝘵 house.
Maybe you better stay in the car.
Partners, remember? Wherever you go, I go.
I don't think Lauren knows how partners work, especially in law enforcement / private investigating. Which, I mean, she's not certified, she doesn't have a gun, you know, you get the point I'm making here, is she needs to be... Also, how was Scott, some 40-something-year-old man, invited to this, like, college guy party?
We come to see 𝘚𝘵 Kramer.
Kramer? The bigwig tycoon from Kramer Construction?
No, his son.
You think maybe he's the origami killer?
For now, I just have a few questions that need answers.
So this subplot here is obviously just thrown into the game to create, like a, you know, to make you think, you know, oh, there's many, it's ambiguous, ambiguity, ambiguously, something with ambiguous, and create uncertainty about who the killer is.
Stupid to bring Lauren. I don't do partners too well. All that just to get my hands on that stupid envelope. Security all over the place. I would say 𝘚𝘵's just a little bit paranoid.
Taking one life one step at a time.
Security guard earned his payoff. Seems there really is a party going on tonight.
So Scott can sit down to a girl and like try to hit on her and she just gets up and walks away. I always thought it was funny.
What a joint! Kramer must be loaded!
How did you not realize that from the house? From the outside? This guy is looking pretty derpy.
Are we gonna be here long? This place gives me the creeps.
find
She
Gordy
just said
Kramer.
she
You
liked
stay
it.
here till I come back. Okay?
Okay. Just let me know if you need me.
Oh, it's lines of coke on the table.
Booze,
I'd already
babes,
be
and
out the
coke.
door from this party.
Gordy Kramer seems to be quite the party animal.
Seeing as how it's from
I don't
invite
know why
only,
they
I'm
have that goddamn music so loud. Can't hear myself thinking here. Not gonna be easy to find Gordy behind that big wall of paid gorillas.
why isn't anyone like in the pool?
Well, I'm here.
I mean, I understand it's
Might as
raining,
well
but
have a drink. Hey, good-looking girl. Keep your mind on the job, Scotty. Okay, gotta find Gordy Kramer.
oh yeah, here it is right here.
You come here often? Great party, huh?
I didn't come here to make friends.
Also, why is he even here in the first place?
I haven't seen Lauren for a while. Better see what she's up to.
If I can find her. Lauren. Lawrence. Oh, whiskey.
Whiskey straight up, no ice.
Have to find more.
Finding someone who isn't smashed or doped up to the gills would be a miracle. And I need one right now.
If I can figure out how to... Okay. I'm pretty sure Lauren's over here.
Hi! Great party, huh? Hi!
I don't know how well you're exactly hearing me because I know this part is very loud. Background music in this mission.
You're my kind of guy. I like you. My friend. Maybe this job does have its perks.
This guy looks like a... man, what's that guy's name? The guy who's on Where's My Car? And like the Dukes of Hazzard remake, that guy, only with black hair.
Now I got me a new friend.
The guy looks like a 1940s gangster.
Finding someone who isn't smashed or doped up to the gills would be a miracle.
Okay, I'm trying to find Lauren.
And I need one right now.
I keep getting turned around. Where is Lauren? I know she's sitting down somewhere. I know that for sure. She have to start here? I don't agree with this party. It costs very much, far too much to be sleeping on pool tables to refelt pool tables. He looks like an edgelord every time he sits down. He crosses his arms with his coat, everything. I mean, at least this guy's being nice over here. Oh, that guy just stole my spot. He's letting the probably intoxicated young maiden sleep on his shoulder. So that's nice of that guy, not trying to be a creepy or a pervert or anything while she's unconscious. Is Lauren ever gonna show up? Oh, here she is.
You okay? I really don't like this place. Did you find out anything?
She has a belt that says sexy, and I don't think that would sell very well.
Get out of here.
Not yet. Gordy's a hard man to meet. But I'm going back in. Hang tight.
So I think we need to try and get past the guards before he realizes that that's not going to work. And then that's when we distract them with Lauren.
I'm a private detective. I'd like to speak to 𝘚𝘵𝘃.
Gordy isn't seeing anyone. Beat it.
Look, here's Mr. Franklin. Says I should go up.
You talk so crazy if I shove that wand down your throat? Beat it. I ain't for sale.
So now we need to enlist the services of Lauren.
I'm gonna have to go about it.
Not like before when we did, but for like figuratively here.
So, did you find Gordy?
He's upstairs. He's got 2 goons blocking the way.
Do you want me to handle them?
Actually, we're gonna get the.
Thanks.
I don't want to endanger Lauren, so we're gonna get the drunken white suit guy to do it.
Whoa. You see that guy over there? Do you know what he said about you?
What'd he say?
The bastard! Ah, sort him out! You motherfucker!
So security's stepping in here, so we have to act fast. And apparently in a house this lucrative, there's no security cameras or anything.
Okay, gotta find 𝘚𝘵𝘃.
Go up the stairs, Scott.
Maybe bust a few heads? Yeah, tempted. But not such a good idea. Too many goon-shaped reinforcements around here.
So Scott's about to open a can of whoop-ass on these people who are guarding Gordy up here.
Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Oh, there was one I didn't get to pick. You revisit this house later, and for perfect crime you have to really you know, get everyone. This isn't the right way. I'm just going out here because not many people ever go out here. So I'm just kind of doing it just to show the viewer. That's Mr. That's Kramer Sr.'s office right there. I guess he's just okay with his son throwing parties at his house. I'm assuming all of his work colleagues and everything have to come to too. Yeah, I knew there was another one over here. So you can look down in all sorts of different locations here. Oh, okay. I know this is the right door. So I'm pretty sure it's not on the other side. Oh, well. That was the door to the Kramer Sr. office.
Mr. Kramer?
Shh, this is the best part.
I cut off his laugh there.
I'm investigating the case of the Origami Killer. I'd like to ask you a few questions. his face was a little late to react to that there. I don't know if those are incense or if they're supposed to be like the quote-unquote incense from like that 70s show. I'd like to know exactly what happened to little Joseph Brown.
It cut off right there again. So after this mission and possibly the next one, we're going to cut it. 2.5 hour mark. I was gonna go for 3 hours, but I am starving, and I really don't want to put myself through that suffering.
as I've put through Ethan and all of them through suffering.
A witness saw little Joseph Brown get in the back of your limousine. That was the last time anybody ever saw it. Now I know you...
So, Scott knows that one of the Origami Killer's victims, quote-unquote victims, wasn't by the Origami Killer's own hand, and this guy's the one who did it and pretty much copycat killed.
You've been arrested and interrogated until your father made a little phone call and the file was closed. I'd like to hear your version of the facts.
The kid was lost. I just offered to drive him home. The police arrived, I explained the misunderstanding, and I was released. End of story. Nothing to get excited about, right?
Okay, so you're a good Samaritan, taking kids home who happen to get lost right next to your limousine? Now be a nice guy and tell me something I can't
believe. He goes from 0 to 100 here. Yep.
I'm the Origami Killer.
Again, he mispronounces it.
I get my victims into my car. I drown them in rainwater. Then I dump them on a wasteland with an origami figure in one hand and an orchid on their chest.
Mr. Shelby's having the biggest eye roll of his entire life right here.
I do that because I'm bored, Mr. Shelby. And it's a creative and entertaining way of having fun. Is that good enough for you? Or do you want more?
He turns into... He's about to turn into Krusty the Clown right here.
This interview is over. Get rid of this clown!
So I have to beat up all these 47-esque goons. A dick slap there. Or a dick chop, I should say. Also, this man, again, Scott Shelby, is in mid-40s, early 50s, or actually he's late 40s. Not in the best shape, and he has asthma, and he's just, you know, going to town on these people. He doesn't have any entities like Jody, or any BS CIA training, or in this case, FBI very good training, such as Norman. So, I don't know how he's able to do this. Ethan never does this because they knew it'd be unrealistic. Because Ethan doesn't know how to do anything, because he's a hopeless idiot.
It's a dangerous game you're playing, Kramer.
Do you know who my father is? He only has to lift one finger and you won't wake up tomorrow morning. You're the one that should be afraid, Mr. Shelby, not me.
Alrighty. So that was the Scott mission, or yeah, episode. So this is the second trial of Ethan, and I think that'd be a good one to start on the next episode. So this is 7:42 p.m. So this is a whole 4 hours after he supposedly was helped by Madison in the hotel room. So it took him either 4 hours to drive here, or he was just lazy and went to like Taco Bell or something. The times never add up in this game. It's one of the major flaws about this game, and it's just, you know, the more I think about it, as far as gameplay, story, mechanics, and item, because I can you know, use Aiden to look at things they would, people would normally not look at. I'm kind of very heavily leaning towards Beyond Two Souls as the superior game to this one, but only time will tell. It might be because I've just played this game so much more than Beyond Two Souls, I'm kind of getting tired of it. But yeah, Beyond Two Souls is definitely a good game, but only time will tell if I like this one more. And Detroit Become Human is definitely the weakest out of the three, I can tell you that right now. Because I've played that one, I've gone through multiple different endings, not all of them, of course. And it's just, I can't get behind the story, or it's just not a good game. So, this was part 3 of Heavy Rain. It wasn't the 3 hours that I was going for, but it would be if I remembered to eat some, you know, food. So, a very unfortunate situation for all these characters except Scott, because he's the only one who isn't in peril at this moment. Norman has this drug problem. Madison's has quote-unquote insomnia, so Madison's not in peril either. And Ethan definitely has the worst hand out of anyone here. Actually, Sean probably has the worst hand out of anyone here. So I want to know, so Grace, Ethan's ex-wife, is always getting mad at Ethan and everything, but I don't see her doing all this BS that Ethan is doing right here, so I don't really know who she's trying to, you know, because Ethan definitely gets the brunt of it. He has to go out and do all these saw traps. So yeah, that was part 3 of Heavy Rain. Part 4 coming soon. Bye bye.